All right, let's get started. The time is 7:08 p.m. right now. This is a live stream. We're going to be talking about the heavy lake effect snow that is actually already occurring across parts of western central lower Michigan, and it's going to be making its way into southwest lower Michigan later on tonight, overnight. So we already have quite a bit of snow that's already fallen. Some reports from Grand Rapids and those areas have about 6 to 8 inches on the ground already in parts of those places, and they're just going to expect quite a bit more. There's potential in some of these areas for up to 20 inches of snow. So let's get right to it. So this is the current radar map from Radar Scope. So if you look here, let me make sure I'm on the right station. Yep, Grand Rapids Station. Really not too much going on right now. The lake effect snow has quieted down in the past couple of hours. So that's good news for the time being. Get a chance to catch up. This is where the heavy lake effect snow has been falling as of right now, okay? So lake effect snow has been relatively heavy, but it's starting to quiet down. What we're going to see overnight tonight, let's go to an Indiana view so you can see kind of the light snow that's occurring. There is still light snow that's occurring in parts of Van Buren, far western Kalamazoo, and St. Joseph counties, and that's going to continue overnight tonight. And we're actually going to see a shift from the southwesterly direction of this snow, because right now the snow is heading in this direction off the lakeshore. We're going to see a shift in the winds, which will lead to a shift in the snow belt. So the snow belt is going to shift from going from the southwest, and we're going to see it make its way from the northeast down into these regions here. So overnight tonight, snow's going to die down for the next few hours, but as we reach midnight and then the early morning hours, we're going to see that snow belt really start to ramp up and potentially start to produce a lot more snow in the southwest lower Michigan region. So this region right here is probably going to see the brunt of the snow over the next during the day tomorrow, okay? So this area has seen a lot of its snow already, but they're also going to see a lot more snow. Pretty much this is going to be a widespread heavy lake effect snow event for most areas. Areas that are presently forecasted to receive more than at least 6 inches of snow is right about this area right here. Any greater than 6 inches of snow, pretty much anywhere where I just marked along this region of western lower Michigan. So this whole region is under the gun for heavy snow, especially tomorrow, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if there was dangerous travel, particularly if you're on the highways, whiteout conditions, still some blowing snow continuing. The winds are going to die down overnight tonight, but it's still going to be rather breezy during the day tomorrow, which will still lead to blowing snow and potentially some whiteout conditions. But we will see the snow shift from a southwesterly direction to a northwesterly direction, and that will change the direction where the brunt of the snow is going. So that snow is going to shift, and 6 to 12 inches anywhere along this bubble, and then you have an even higher amount, greater than a foot, maybe even greater than 16 inches around this area here. So this region is the most likely region to see heavy snow. Right now, if we go back to the GFS model, or let's take a look at the NWS hazards real quick that are currently in place. There's likely to be more later on this evening, but currently winter storm warnings in effect for parts of Kent County, Allegan, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Oceana counties, areas northward, including Traverse City, those regions. Winter storm warning. The winter storm warnings north of Kalamazoo and Van Buren counties are currently forecasted to receive 6 to 12 inches of snow. Van Buren and Kalamazoo counties are currently forecasted to see anywhere from 4 to 16 inches of snow, based on what the National Weather Service is forecasting. Areas east of that where the winter weather advisory is in effect, this winter weather advisory expires at 1 p.m. Thursday. So after 1 p.m. Thursday, this winter weather advisory will no longer be in effect, but I am expecting some additional winter weather advisories, maybe even some winter storm warnings to be issued for Berrien, Cass, and St. Joseph counties, depending on how the forecast models change or modify later on. That tan is still the wind advisory in effect. That expires later on tonight. And then you see down here, down to the south, parts of southern Ohio, southern Indiana under a winter weather advisory. Not much snow for them. It's going to be 1 to 3 inches, maybe 3 to 5 in some spots, excuse me. Winter storm warnings along the Appalachian Mountain region. They're going to see quite a bit of snow. Upper Peninsula of Michigan has some winter storm warnings. They're seeing 6 to 12 inches of snow as well. So we are definitely not out of the woods. It may seem like things are starting to calm down, but it is definitely going to get quite a bit more intense as we go through the night, overnight tonight. Looking at closings, there's a lot of closings all across Southwest Michigan. This is provided by WWMT, but Kalamazoo, Kent counties, Muskegon, Ottawa, some in St. Joseph and Van Buren also closings for this evening in particular. So currently, temperature as it is outside is around 11 degrees. Atmospheric pressure is rising actually, and the wind chill's down to 5 degrees, so it's quite cold. The wind speeds outside of my house are not really too high. Probably has to do with some obstructions that are in the area, but recently we've seen quite a bit of changes in temperature. Temperature's been going down, and the wind gusts are still around 20 to 25 miles an hour based on the graphs that I have here. All right, let's go back to the actual models here. What are we forecasting in terms of snow? All right, so these latest models, again, models cannot really provide the greatest amount of information. Kind of blending the models together will give us a better idea of how much snow we can expect. But this model is putting out by Saturday, we will have up to 16 inches of snow in parts of Cass County, Van Buren County, around 3 to 7 inches of snow in St. Joe County, and 4 to 8 inches in Kalamazoo County. Now that's a lot different than parts of the HRR model, which if you look at that, the forecast snow totals are actually pretty crazy and way overestimating the amount of snow we'll likely receive. But upwards up to 58 inches of snow is what is forecasted by this model. Again, this forecast model is really stretching it, so I don't think we'll get anywhere around there, but I wouldn't be surprised if some areas within this orange spot here see up to 2 feet of snow in that region. And then same thing with Upper Peninsula, about 15, 16 inches of snow. So a lot of winter weather. Let's take a look at what the National Weather Service is actually forecasting in terms of snow development in the Great Lakes region. The potential for greater than 2 inches of snowfall is shown here in the Upper Peninsula. Anything that's in dark red is pretty much guaranteed you're going to see more than 2 inches of snow. So more than 2 inches of snow, most definitely for Kalamazoo, Van Buren, areas along the lakeshore, parts of the Upper Peninsula. Let's go to greater than 8 inches because that's really more major amounts of snow. And we still have a good likelihood along areas such as South Haven to see up to greater than 8 inches of snow. So that's why the winter storm warnings are out. It's going to be quite a bit of snow accumulating across these regions. And then once we get to greater than 18 inches, the chances really drop. We're not going to see, it's not a great chance that we'll see snow totals greater than that in many different regions. So really, the expected amount of snowfall probably won't exceed a foot for most areas, but where those snow bands really stick and really decide to stay, that is where we will see our major snow totals. So let's go back to the radar just to check one more time with what's going on. We'll let it render real quick. Alright, so some reports of snow going on in Cass County and Berrien County. That's sensible because there is light snow occurring across pretty much this entire region. Heavy snow starting to dissipate in this area over here. But like I said before, it's going to be shifting from the southeast to the northwest, and this is where the brunt of our snow will be coming later on overnight tonight. Probably starting around midnight, 1 a.m. is when we'll start seeing the snow really start to take off, coming from the northwest, and even crossing all the way across the entire state. Parts of Jackson, Lansing, Flint could even see some heavy snow, Detroit, as a result of this pretty intense lake effect snow system that is going to be moving through. All right, that's pretty much all I wanted to show. So if you have questions, feel free to. Cam says, I don't get it. What? Cam says, I don't get it. So the lake effect snow that's occurring is a result of the warmer. So the Lake Michigan is quite a bit warmer than the air temperature as of right now. So as water evaporates from the lake and heads into colder air, the air can't hold that warmer moisture. And that allows it, as it crosses over colder land, to produce lake effect snow and pour across pretty much the entire state. And we've got a bunch of rich mid-level moisture within this system that is moving through. So that mid-level moisture, as it heads over the lake and then goes back onto the cold land, starts to dump the snow. So we are in a very favorable situation for lake effect snow. So a lot of lake effect snow is going to be moving through the area over the next 2 days. So again, if you live in this bubble that I just drew right about here, I wouldn't be surprised if you see greater than 5 inches of snow. Probably 6 to 12 inches of snow most likely. And in the places where you're in the heavier snow bands, probably closer to the lakeshore, you're going to get possibly greater than a foot in some spots. Again, with lake effect snow, we can never get a fully accurate forecast, so it's going to be kind of a wild card. So you're going to want to just pay attention to your latest updates from your newscasters, potentially the National Weather Service, and just stay tuned, and I'll try to keep you updated on the latest stuff that comes in. All right, that's all I've got to cover for the remainder of this. So stay safe. If you have to travel, avoid traveling if you live in some of the western counties and in counties in the Upper Peninsula. Avoid if you can. Otherwise, pack an extra blanket, food, water, have something in your vehicle to help you stay warm and sustain yourself if you ever get caught in a potential bad situation. In Virginia yesterday, they had a 48-hour long traffic jam where people just could not leave because they were trapped within it. So it does happen. Not saying it's going to happen here, but it could. So be prepared for the worst if the worst does tend to come. All right, so stay safe, stay warm. There's going to be sub-zero temperature, sub-zero wind chills overnight tonight, so you're going to want to be careful of that. And I will come back on probably later on tomorrow to discuss the latest developments in regards to lake effect snow, because it looks like we could have even more lake effect snow on Sunday. So I'll keep you updated on that. All right. Have a good evening, everyone.